Hi, my name is Rayvon Griffith. I attend AZ Compass Prep. I'm class 2023. I'm committed to the University of Cincinnati.
Rayvon Griffith, welcome back to What's in Your Bag. Now, you're the first person to be on this show twice. We had to do it twice.
For sure.
And we're gonna jump into why here in a second. Just your journey. We've been trying to schedule this for a long time. You've been busy, I've been busy. We're finally here. Your journey from when we did our interview February of 2021 has been amazing. And I want everybody out there to kind of hear about this journey. But this interview will be a little bit different. Still ask you to bring the bag in, still ask you to bring some items. But I got a bag, and I got some items for you. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yes, sir. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about your bag.
All right, so I got a regular old Taft bag that we got from our tournament run.
Don't go into your stuff yet.
Oh, my bad.
We won't
I
start.
got an Adidas bag. You know, we sponsored by Adidas this year.
Yeah.
It's a Taft bag that we got during the playoffs. So.
Because last time you were on the show, the bag you had was from your freshman year.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a newer bag.
Yep, from my junior year.
Okay, so with that being said, my question is, how has your game improved from that time? Because you got a new bag. Get it? New bag on the court.
Yep.
So how has your game improved?
Added more moves to my bag. My jump shot improved. Me getting to the rim improved. Defense improved. I feel like everything from last time I was on the show improved.
Yeah. So what did you do? Where were you in the gym all the time? Here in Cincinnati, training with folks? What were you doing?
For sure, training, working out, and my mindset is just totally different now.
What'd you do to improve your mindset?
Just start seeing different things, start playing against, more top-ranked players. Seeing I can play with them guys just made me have a better mindset. Like I can, be where they at or, take their spot in the rankings or something like that.
Yeah, and I think you're playing with a chip on your shoulder these days.
For sure.
And we're going to jump into a lot of stuff, man. We're going to talk about Taft, prep school, Bearcats, AAU, all that good stuff. And a lot of people out there want to know a lot about what's going on in your life. So let's start with your first item, man.
All right, my first item, I brought state championship medal with the net on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yep.
This is it.
That's the medal.
And the net.
Yep.
There we go. Let's talk about the state championship run.
Okay.
I mentioned to you before, winning a state championship is something that a lot of people talk about at the beginning of the season. High school and college, they talk about winning a national championship. NBA talk about winning a championship. Everyone as a team tries to come together. Obviously, you guys had that same discussion as a team. But in order to win championships, players have to make sacrifices, right? You averaged 23 points a game the season before. The state championship run, that whole season, you averaged 20 points a game. So you had to make sacrifices. Can you talk a little bit about that?
For sure. I feel like my sophomore year, we was more like chemistry-wise. I feel like that's why we made it to the Final Four and stuff like that. And my junior year, I feel like we got better player-wise and like more people could score the ball. So I feel like I didn't have to average so many points for us to, win and stuff like that. So I could share the ball more and, take breaks on offense and stuff like that. So that's what I did.
So you improve with your passing
For sure.
and getting it to your teammates.
sure.
That's good. And that helps out for that next level, man, when you're playing college basketball. Now, looking at the season, okay, at Taft, the first game of the season, we got to talk about this. Gahanna-Lincoln.
Yep.
Was it like 65-32, something like that?
Yep.
You guys got smacked game one.
We got pounded.
But you guys learned from that and go on a 5-game winning streak. What happened?
Going into the season, we knew we had a lot of good players and stuff like that. We thought couldn't nobody mess with us. We thought he was on the top of the world. We was ranked like #1 in the CMAC and stuff like that. So first game, we went to the game like we're going to clown, everybody going to shine and stuff like that. But we played against a mature Gahana team that been together for a long time, and they smacked us, and that humbled us. And so we knew everybody as good as us. So we got to go out there with a chip on our shoulder, and then next 5 games, we just won.
Yeah, and that game really helped you guys out.
Sure.
When it came to the rest of the season. So you finish the regular season and you get ready for the state championship run. Yeah. So I always say this, the playoffs are a season within the season, right? You got to win 8 games to win a state championship.
Yeah.
And you guys start off the first 4, you guys are just smoking folks, right? And the crazy thing about the playoffs is starts February 19th, ends March 20th. That's a long season to be locked in for high school kids.
Yeah. But, we had players returning, so it was personal for some of us, and we had to get the new guys on the same page that, like, we don't want y'all to feel this feeling, like, because we lost on the buzzer beater in the Final Four the year prior to that. So we didn't want nobody from our new team to feel that feeling. We want everybody to feel joy, send our seniors out the right way this time, so that's just what we did.
Talk about your leadership during the playoffs, how it was different than the regular season.
For sure. I feel like my sophomore year going into the playoffs, I feel like I was 50-50 locked in, but I knew what I had to do. And I feel like my junior year, I was just locked in 100%. It was really just school, basketball, practice and stuff for me. So I was real locked in, the most locked in I've ever been in my life.
I was at one of your guys' game. I was only there for a little bit. I had to leave, but you guys played one of the early rounds at Western Brown High School.
Yep.
And I was talking to somebody, and somebody said, man, Rayvon's locked in. They're going to win the state championship.
Yeah.
I remember walking out, somebody telling me that. And I was like, really? He's that focused? He said, yeah, he's locked in. So let's fast forward to that state championship game. You fouled out.
Yeah.
You guys still win, but what was that feeling like, when that buzzer sounded and you guys, I know you're on the bench, fouled out, but I mean, it's still an emotional time for you. Talk about that feeling when that buzzer sounds.
It's crazy because I wanted to be on the court with my team, to finish the game, but, I fouled out. So that was real crazy. But when the buzzer went off, all that didn't matter. I just wanted to celebrate my team, just tell everybody, we did it. Everybody doubted us at first, but, we all stayed locked in, and that's what we did.
What did the coaches say in the locker room after it was all over?
If you lock in, we're going to win. That's what they said at the beginning of the playoffs. If we lock in for these 8 games, we're going to win. And that's what we did. And we believed in them, and they believed in us, so we won a state championship.
And then you win a state championship, and you're in the opening day parade with the Reds opening day parade. What was that feeling like?
It was crazy. It was real crazy because I didn't know that many people, was behind us and stuff like that. And I'm walking, everybody UC fans, Rayvon commit to UC, stuff like that. They going crazy. So it's just a great feeling, that they asked us to be in a parade.
Yep, hometown hero. Yep. That's good, man. That's great. Let's jump into your next item.
All right, I brought a pair of shoes.
Oh, these I'm talking about.
These the shoes I won a state championship in, and these the shoes that I played my last AAU game.
Yeah. Okay. What size shoe you wear?
14.
Yeah, you asked me for some shoes earlier. I don't have 14. I'm sorry, bro. What shoes are these?
These is some James Harden's, I think.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
You wore these in AAU.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about AAU.
Yeah.
I'm an AAU guy. I love AAU. I love the relationships. We were talking before we even got to this interview about the relationships and how this generation, man, you guys know each other.
Yeah.
You know of people, and you actually DM them, text them, and all that. Just building those relationships with Bronny James. Talk a little bit about that.
It's crazy. Social media is just went up so much. We can do so much with social media now. So all you gotta do is send a text and stuff like that, and just connect with somebody. I'm recruiting some people to come to UC with me. So only thing I do is call them, DM them their number and stuff like that. So it's just great to have for sure.
I love that. Talk a little bit about Midwest Basketball Club that you played for. One thing I noticed, I watched you guys in Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. You guys played in Fort Wayne. I obviously watched you twice on TV, and we'll talk about those 2 games, the Blue Chips and the one in Vegas. But I mean, just to see I mean, you, Reed Shepherd, Gabe Cupps, and, you know, all these guys, you know, headed to play high-level college basketball are all buying into a system, which doesn't happen a lot in AAU. How'd you guys lock in and buy into a system in AAU?
I played with Gabe before, so I know what type of player he was, and I obviously played with Coach Cupps before. He was the assistant coach for the Blue Chips. So I knew, and I watched Centerville, so I knew what type system Coach Cupps was going to try to run. That's why I played with Midwest. I was actually going to play with him my sophomore year, but some things happened. So I played with him my last year. So I knew what type coach he was. I knew what type player Gabe was. So I knew if we buy in, Coach Cupps had so much success. So I know if we just buy in, you know, we'll have a successful season.
Yeah, Coach Cupps is a fantastic coach. Yeah. Let's talk about when you guys brought the band back together.
Yeah.
The Blue Chips event, like that was like really cool. That was a dope event. How did that come about?
It came about when they put us all in a group, and we was like, we putting the band back together. And I thought it was a joke, like, we putting the Blue Chips back together? Like, that's gonna be super crazy. And then we all found out it was real. So then we was gonna have it back here at Akron at St. Vincent St. Mary, and that's just great itself because, you know, LeBron gonna be there, you know, it's his old school and stuff like that. So it'll just be great to play with all my old friends that I played with when I was younger for one last time before we all go off to play our last high school season and go off to college and play in the pros and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you started with the Blue Chips in 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, and to be able to experience all that again is really cool. Let's talk a little bit about LeBron. I'm a Michael Jordan guy, and there's always that debate, LeBron, Michael Jordan. But I think with LeBron, I love the fact that he's given back to basketball so much. Like, he's invested into young people. And I love, you know, what's going on with his 2 kids, just how much he pours his heart and soul into, you know, helping them. But not only them, I feel like LeBron is helping other kids. Like, has he had conversations with you in terms of you developing as a player?
Yeah, 100%. No, when I got up there with the Blue Chips reunion for a practice, he pulled me to the side. He's like, "What's up, Ray? I missed you, man." I was like, "I miss you too." He's like, "Man, I seen all your success. Congrats on the state championship." I was like, wow. I didn't even know he knew I won and stuff like that. He's like, "Congrats on your commitment," and I didn't even know he was watching. He's like, "I'm always watching," so that was great.
Oh man, that's got to be a cool feeling right there.
Sure.
Like, arguably one of the biggest athletes in the world right now is talking to you about a state championship.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now we just need to get Bronny in a Bearcat jersey. I'll just put that out there.
What's up?
Well, that's cool. But I thought the coolest thing though was the event you just played in. Gosh, that was just the other day.
Yep.
You just flew back from Vegas.
Yep, I got back last night.
Just for this interview, right?
Yep, for sure.
You played in Vegas with Midwest Basketball Club, and you played Strive for Greatness. Played against Bronny this time. LeBron wasn't there though. But I thought that was a really cool event, and I thought it was cool for you because I thought you really got to showcase how much you've developed and what type of player you are. I mean, the high motor you played with that game, the energy. I mean, Bearcat fans were eating that up. I mean, knocking down shots. How'd you feel playing in that?
I feel great. I went out there with a chip on my shoulder because, you know, they had, like, put a bunch of players together, 5 stars, 4 stars, and I'm a 4-star myself. So, and, you know, a lot of them ranked higher than me. So I just had to go out there and show I could play with these guys and I should be ranked higher. So that was just my mindset, and I definitely wanted to win because it was my last AAU game. So that was just my mindset going into that game.
I mean, you were the first half watching. I'm like, he's the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt that way, didn't you?
Yeah, that was my mindset.
Yeah, and you guys started to lose a little bit, and you were on the bench, so you should have been out there a little bit more. That's me coaching. Yeah. That's me coaching. But that's a fantastic way to end your like AAU career though. Like going out high, and you guys cooked them. Like that had to feel great.
Yeah, for sure. We knew going into the game, if we keep it simple, run our stuff, play out in transition, you know, the team that played the hardest and, you know, plays the most together always going to win. That's what Coach told us. So if we did that, we knew we was going to win no matter who they got. So
I thought that game was a great glimpse for Bearcat fans to see what type of player they're going to get. I mean, you're not selfish at all. Like, how many points did you have in the first half?
15.
You have 15 points, and I felt they were within the flow of the offense and the game. You weren't shooting crazy stuff, moving the basketball, playing defense. I think you're going to fit in very, very well in Wes Miller's system. But Did Bronny have anything to say to you during, after the game?
Yep, during the game, I actually seen him the day before we played him. We was chopping it up and stuff like that. Just, talk about life. When I see Bronny and, all the other Blue Chips teammates, we always just talk about, how we've been and stuff like that, 'cause we don't see each other as much no more. So anytime, I link up with them and stuff like that, it's just always good vibes.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. All right, let's jump into your next item.
All right, my next item, I brung the University of Cincinnati shirt that I committed in.
Let's go. Yes. Okay.
It's the UC shirt that I committed in.
All right, let's talk about this commitment. Ray, your hometown hero. I'm going to the school that I played basketball at, and I'm really happy that you're coming to the Bearcats. So 5 schools were on your list: UC, UCLA, Ohio State, Kansas, and Alabama.
Yep.
You chose the Bearcats. Why?
It was the most consistent for sure. Just the little stuff. Calling my mom. My mom plays a huge role in my life. She's the most important person in the world to me. So just building a relationship with her, shows that you really care about me, because that's who I care about the most. So if you show you care about her, you care about me. So, and showing up to my school at 7, 8 a.m. to, just see how I'm doing and stuff like that before I go off to school and stuff like that. Just little stuff like that. And I told them before, little things gonna win me over, and that's what they did.
So your conversation with head coach Wes Miller, what were those like during the recruiting process?
It was great, because talking to him, I love talking to him for real, because he just brings so much energy. Like, we'd be talking about some non-basketball related. He'd be like, yeah, Ray, yeah, Ray, yeah, Ray. He'd just have so much energy, so it's just great.
I think that's like a match made in heaven. The energy you play with on the court, the energy he coaches with, you're like the perfect player.
Yeah, for sure.
In his system. And the crazy thing is, like, Coach Miller's first year, last season, he had a lot of players that really he didn't recruit, so didn't fit the style of play that he eventually wants to play. And I think he's getting closer to that. And by the time you come in, these other guys come in, I think he's got his core, right, of how he wants to play.
For sure.
Fast, full court press. Transition. That fits right into you. Now, you won a state championship, so you're going to the Bearcats. You're going to win a national championship.
100%.
Right? When you win that national championship, as far as I know, and if anybody out there knows this that can correct me, you will be the first person in Cincinnati to win a high school state championship in Ohio from Cincinnati, and then go to the University of Cincinnati and win a national championship.
It's a blessing. Let's do it.
Man, didn't they have to build a statue of you out front with the hair right next to Oscar?
Yeah, when you build a statue, you got to get my hair right. You got to get my hair right.
You really, and I mean, right now Joe Burrow has the city on lock, but Ray, Joe Burrow might have to take a step back.
Yeah, for sure. You ain't from here, man.
Yeah, right. You're not from here. He's from Ohio, but you're not from the heart of Cincinnati. And I love this. So what are some of your goals going into college, playing for the Bearcats?
Obviously, just having a successful season, showing everybody that I can play at the highest level, in the Big 12. Showing everybody, that I'm putting on for my city, and showing people that other kids in the city like Tyler and AJ can put on for the city just like I did, obviously win a national championship for sure.
We have so much talent in the city.
We really do.
And do you feel this way? I've always felt this way. And nothing against high school football in this area, but I think high school football gets a lot of the attention and hype. One of the reasons that we do this show is because I felt like high school basketball players are not getting enough attention. We got guys like you, Paul, Tyler, that are high level. Like, I think you're going to be an NBA player. I think Tyler's going to be an NBA player. Why are we not highlighting these guys? And the beautiful thing too is, like, all these guys and building these relationships. And you're a Cincinnati guy. No matter how big you get, your heart's always here in Cincinnati.
For sure. Just the way I was raised, before all the hype and stuff like that, I was raised in a rough, environment. So I never forget who I am. I never forget where I'm from. It just always humbled me to, stay who I am.
Yeah, that motivates you.
For sure.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about you being a Bearcat. I go to a lot of practices. I'm gonna be in your ear, talking to you.
You're gonna see me in there yelling and stuff.
I love it. You have another item?
Those only 3 I brought.
Okay. Let's talk about you're headed off to prep school.
Yep.
You want to shout out the prep school?
Shout out AZ Compass Prep. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait to start work.
Okay. So talk about the decision to go there. How did it all happen?
I've been watching AZ Compass Prep since they had Ty Washington and stuff like that. He's obviously in the NBA now. And they just, brotherhood. I see AZ Compass Prep as a TAF, but at a much higher level. That's like they brotherhood, the way they play, the culture, just everything about it really fits me in the way they play, fast downhill. They like to play defense, and you know, Coach Gibson, you know, and Coach Pete and everybody on the coaching staff, you know, just won me over by their brotherhood because they got episodes on YouTube and things like that, and it just shows how much they really care about their players and how much they really locked in.
Had you seen those episodes before you even made the commitment, or just when you started to do your research?
I actually was on TikTok and I seen Coach Gibson talking to one of the players, and they was having, you know, a real heart-to-heart. You know, the player was crying, and, you know, Coach was crying. You know, it's just real heart-to-heart. You know, I was just like, dang, like, that's Coach Gibson. Like, I'm really going to that school and play for him. So it was just crazy.
So what do you need to work on there?
Definitely need to work on everything. I feel like I can mature at everything. So go out there and, you know, just get away from home for a little bit, get back uncomfortable, you know, just come back with a new mindset.
Being a Cincinnati kid, hometown kid, you're a little worried about going that far away? I mean, that's a long flight.
Nah, never. You know, I know what I'm going out there for. I'm going out there for business. So I know when I come back home, it's going to be business.
Business trip.
Yeah, for sure.
You ready for that heat?
Yeah. My first day out there was crazy. It's like 117. Yeah, but I'm going to be ready for it. I'm taking straight shorts, though. I ain't taking no sweatpants.
Yeah, you got to get used to that heat real quick. There were a lot of Bearcat fans out there that were really concerned when you committed to the prep school, and I'm sure you heard about this, that, he's going out there, he's not going to commit to the Bearcats, can you put the Bearcat fans at ease?
Bearcat fans, I'll be right back. I ain't going to be gone for that long. You know, I'm still committed, you know, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, love it. So, I've got a bag, and I brought some things to show you.
I got to see this.
Are you ready?
I got to see this.
I brought a couple things. So, I think you're really going to like this. So, obviously, I always make somebody bring in shoes. So, I brought in a pair of shoes.
Some Jordans, y'all.
He says some Jordans.
Dang, they ain't 14s.
Now, no, they're not 14s. You can't have these. So, when I played for the Bearcats, we were the first ever college team to walk on a court wearing Jordans, being sponsored. So when I played, these are the shoes. It says Cincinnati across the bottom there. Got the C-paw. These were the first ever Jordans with Cincinnati on there.
Dang, that's crazy.
And I want to tell you, man.
That's crazy.
These
are legendary, man.
These are legendary.
Yeah, these
those are legendary. If I put those on eBay and they're kind of funky and beat up, but you know, Bearcat fans love these. But I will tell you something, Ray. When I look at these shoes, man, I think about the blood, sweat, and tears that went into practice, right? I mean, we were number one in the country. Played with Kenyon Martin, you know, arguably one of the greatest college basketball players. People saw us on the court in the games, but had no idea what went on in practice. When I look at these, man, I think about all those hours in that grind. Are you ready for that?
100%.
That's different than high school. I mean, it's just you got to get in the weight room. You got film studies. You're in the gym. Fly, come back. Now you're in the Big 12, so you're flying a little bit differently.
I feel like that's why me going out to prep school, you know, we got 16 or 13 ESPN games, so, and all of them in different states. Like our first game of the season is in Utah, and then stuff like that. So we play in Vegas and whole bunch of different states. So we're gonna be on the road a lot, and I feel like that's why I'm going out to prep school to get ready for that.
Good, I like that. So that was part of the strategic move.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. So I have another item here for you. I know you're gonna laugh just a little bit, but another Bearcat thing. You're going to be wearing number 3 at UC. Well, this was my jersey. Now I know it looks really big. This was the Jordan. This was the Jordan jersey.
That's legendary right there.
It is.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears right here. That was kind of like our thing. We talked about blood, sweat, and tears in the gym. And Ray, not long from now, you're going to be wearing a Bearcat jersey with Cincinnati across your chest, man. What are you going to be thinking about when you run on that court for the first time? and your family's there, friends there, your support staff, and you're rocking that Cincinnati across the chest, man.
It'll be like it's go time. You know, it's go time. Everybody here, everybody got high expectations of me, so I got to live up to that expectation.
Now, I do want to. You got a new. Want to talk about that?
Oh, a new tattoo?
Got a new tattoo.
Yep. I just actually got this new tattoo. Actually, like a couple hours before I came here.
So nobody's seen this yet. This is fresh off the
Nobody's
press.
seen this yet. It got the wrap on it, so you can't really see it. But it got my boy BJ name on it. He the reason I started playing basketball. So I got his name tatted. His name Brandon Jackson. So yeah.
And he's no longer with us.
Yeah. He passed away. When I was younger. He the reason what I'm doing today. So.
And when you run on that court at Fifth Third Arena for the first time, you'll be thinking about him.
For sure. I'm gonna look at my arm every game.
Yep.
So.
Yep. The last thing I want to give you, and when we finish up here, Ray, I'm gonna put a little note in here for you. You know what this is?
Oh, that's you.
That's me. He said, "Oh, that's you." So I wrote a book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote a book called Walk of a Lifetime about my experience playing for the Bearcats and just basketball, my journey in basketball. So I got a lot of picks. So that was me in college.
Oh yeah.
Pretty fresh. You like the beard?
Yeah, the beard going.
I want you to read this.
Okay.
So while you're at prep school, read this to help prepare you. I signed it there, but I'm gonna put a little note in here for you, a special note.
All right, bet.
You gotta make sure you do that. Now, in your journey, always remember this, man. You're gonna physically be working on your game. You're gonna be watching footage, videos to help prepare you for games. But you gotta read books, man. You know how important reading books are?
I don't know, but I know it's important.
It's very important. So find an athlete that you admire. Go get a book on them. There's plenty of them. KD has a book. LeBron has books. Like there's art, books written on those guys. And learn about Kobe has plenty of them. Learn about that mindset. Okay, that's going to help elevate you, right? You can only do so much physically, but you've got the physical. You got the height. How tall are you now?
6'6" or 6'7".
I think you've grown since last interview.
6'7".
But if you put this there with all this, unstoppable. Agree with that?
For sure.
The last thing I have for you is every person that comes on the show now this season, we didn't do this the first season, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So Jay-Z's the GOAT to me. What's wrong, man? What's wrong?
To you, it's okay.
To me. Yeah. Who's your GOAT for rap?
Right now?
Yeah.
Rod Wave, for sure.
Rod Wave.
100%.
That's your guy because?
He's very versatile with his music. He can sing, rap, do gossip. He just do it all.
Okay.
And he's very versatile.
You got him above Drake? Because Drake does some of those things.
I don't feel like Drake can go gossip.
I don't know.
But yeah, I got him above Drake.
Okay.
I feel like Drake, he's popping right now, but he's not our day. Like I feel like he was. I don't know how to explain it, but
you weren't feeling the new album, the dance album. You weren't feeling the dance album. Okay,
Drake. We gotta talk about that. That one there.
So I'm a big Jay-Z fan, and so I always look at music. Oftentimes becomes a soundtrack to people's life. Like you can take me back to a certain event, and I could tell you what music I was listening to at that time. And I feel like every step of the way, Jay-Z's music was always in the background. Yeah. So I take Jay-Z's lyrics, and I always think about a lyric or lyrics that would relate to the person that I'm interviewing.
Yep.
So what I did was I thought about this before we came in here, and I typed it out. I'm gonna give this to you in the book. So the song is called Beach Chair.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make you listen to it.
All right.
Because I know you probably never heard it.
Nope.
So it's called Beach Chair. And in the song, Jay-Z says, so they call him Hove, right? That's his nickname.
Yeah.
So he says, Hove, how do you get so fly? I said, from not being afraid to fall out the sky. My physical's a shell, so when I say farewell, my soul will find an even higher plane to dwell. So fly you shall, so have no fear. Just know that life is but a beach chair. You know what that means?
No, but I was getting where he was saying. picking up what he was saying.
So what I thought about with you is how you get so fly from not being afraid to fall out the sky.
Basically, how I got here today is because I wasn't afraid of taking the risk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to continue with that mindset. Do not be afraid to fall out the sky. Here's what we got to do, though. This is our second interview. All right? When you get ready for the league and you get drafted, we got to do another one.
We're going to do a third interview.
We're going to do a third one.
We're going to do a season finale.
Season finale. You got that?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that in? Listen, Ray, I've followed your journey. I know we haven't known it prior to the 1 February 2020. We didn't know each other before, but I followed your journey. Shout out to Lannis Timmons.
Yeah, shout out Coach.
He kind of told me who you were early on. And Coach Timmons is, I think, the world of him. And when he tells me somebody can play and they can hoop, he's usually spot on. And he told me that about you. I've enjoyed your journey. And one thing I really love is people out there know you can play, but man, when they can hear you talk and see what type of person you are, I think Bearcat fans and the basketball community are going to fall in love with you as a person, man. I think your sky's the limit. Before I forget, shout out your support team, man, your village that helps you in your journey.
I want to shout out my mom and dad. I love you guys. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I want to shout out my boy BJ, no longer with us. You know, you're the reason I'm doing this. I want to shout out both of my brothers, Dominique and Dale Griffith. I want to shout out Tremaine Dees, and I want to shout out my brother Darius. You know, I love you guys. And shout out my whole family, everybody that supported me. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, keep those people in that circle, man. Always listen to them and read the books.
So I got you.
I'm going to start with this one.
That
that a deal?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man.
All right.
Appreciate you coming
Appreciate
on
it.
again.
For
We're going to do that third one.
For sure.
All right.
Season finale.
Yes, sir. Ray, came back from Vegas, did an interview. Oh, you're hungry. Right? Penn Station. What do you get? Big cheesesteak. Well, I got a bunch of coupons here for you, man. Why don't you give a shout out and a thank you to Penn Station?
Shout out Penn Station. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.